You ready? For the hundreds in attendance, for the millions watching around the world. Let's get ready for
Amy Combat! Combos Wrestling Edition. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. Huh? Huh? Can the people hear us? Can you hear us? This is what I want to know before I even get going.
What?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
What about me?
We have audio issues.
See, I'm chopped liver, y'all.
You are chopped liver. You are chopped liver. I always want to make sure. Yep, I can hear you.
You said I am chopped liver.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, man.
I'll give you a chopped liver.
We weren't sure we were gonna be able to do it today, but people have been talking, so we're not gonna waste any of your time.
If people are talking, then we got to be talking. You know what I mean?
We're not gonna waste any of your time. Welcome to A&B Combos
Wrestling Edition,
the most must-see wrestling review and live reaction show in all of YouTube Landia.
Now, I know that not everybody was in here when you first played it. Can you play that clip again of her being booed? Is that possible?
You know, I'd have to. It is, but I can't. I have to do some rejiggering. So, we're gonna give some shouts. In just a second. Let me just set it up real quick. This is about Maxxine Dupri.
Yep.
Getting booed. Everybody seems to be all up in their feelings about it.
So that's what we're talking about today.
The YouTube universe is ablaze. Wrestling fans are in an uproar, and we're here to talk about it. So before we do that, give a shout to the people who we got in the mod squad.
Let's look at the mod squad. First of all, we had Sophie Dofi in the house.
What up, OG, Triple OG?
But Sophie Dofi couldn't stay. Dropped in to say won't be in here, but we'll be here next time. So thanks for dropping in, but I don't even know that you're here anymore.
OG.
We do have Jaden Winchester in the house. What up, boo? Thanks, Mod. We have Wise Man Jedi Knight 88, Mod in the house. Acknowledged.
I'm talking
Let's
about.
See. Do we have any other mods up
What
in
up,
here
Wise
right
Man?
now?
What up, Wise
or
Man?
Or is it just you two? Not that y'all are not enough, because you are. Okay, I think Sophie Dopi may still be in here. And then we have Samantha Poole member up in here.
What up, Samantha?
We got, what other member we got up in here? I thought I saw another one. Okay, so that's what I saw as far as members and mods. But we got a special guest up in the house.
Come on now.
I mean, you know, he's here a lot, but you always special when you up in here, bro. So we got Just Alex in the house. Everybody's already said hello, but we want to acknowledge you too, bro.
Friend and fam.
That's our younger brother.
That's what I'm talking
from
about.
another mother.
That's what I'm talking about. What's going on, Just Alex? Good to see you. And I know you did a video on it.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a little bit. We DM'd. We had some discussion about it. I got some feelings on it. I got to be honest with you. It really is. I realize both male and female wrestlers get called up a little too soon. For me personally, this is going to be a video, a rant on my end. I can't speak for her about the women's division in general. We're going to focus on Maxxine Dupri, but I also want to tie it in to what I see is a failure by the WWE, by pro wrestling promoters, the two major ones, WWE and AEW, how they have failed the women's division. Let me give some quick shouts, and then we're going to get into it because, you know, we got some things. Y'all got some things. First in line with that fast pass, Anthony is in the house. Good to see you, Anthony.
How you doing, love?
We appreciate you very, very much. Fareed Saeed, what up, Zay? Yeet to the neat.
Oh, wait, Anthony said, long as we hear B, we are good.
I appreciate y'all for being up in here. We got Jody Bennett. What up, Jody?
Woo!
Actually, I can't woo anymore.
Can't woo anymore, but, you know.
Really kind of sad.
I got you.
It's really kind of sad. Denisha Lane, we see you in here. What's going down, Denisha? Always, because honorable mention, Just Alex. You're going to get that honorable mention, brother. Thank you. Wilfredo Fernandez, what's going on, Wilfredo? We got Zay.
What up?
Who else we got in here? We also got Bone Crusher.
Wilfredo.
Bone Crusher seems a little, I don't know. She seems
Bone Crusher,
a little.
what you trying to do? You trying to get up in here?
Come here, good girl.
She don't know what she wants.
Come here.
What you want, baby? You trying to get up in here?
Yeah, we want to give a special shout. Let me give a shout to my baby sister as well. She may or may not be in here. I don't really know. We will see. But I love you, baby sister. If you don't know now, you know. This right here is our channel mascot if you are new to the channel. You know her, you love her. Weighing in at 16 1/4 pounds. It is the Shih Tzu Terrier of Terror. It is time. It's time for Bone Crusher. That's a wrestling name. Channel mascot Bone Crusher. She's a 5-year-old Shih Tzu Terrier. We love her to death. She frustrates us like nobody's business, but we love her to death. So we appreciate you guys. Let me give a few more shouts. Nico Thompson, what's good with you, Nico? Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad to see that Alex is getting the love in here as he deserves. Kyle Fisher, that's what I'm talking about. Acknowledge it the Rock way. You understand me? You're not doing it right. There's something else going on with The Rock, man. He's supposed to be back all up in here on Smackdown.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
I know. We have the first super chat of the night, starting off right with well-rounded Leo. Big circle message to you. Issue is, every person does not need to wrestle. Some can be managers, and yes, some female can be valets. Mm-hmm. Everybody does not have the talent to wrestle.
Yeah, that's Scarlett right there. They need to not ever put Scarlett in the ring ever again. But that is not Maxxine. I'm gonna come to her defense. That's not Maxxine. That is Scarlett. That's not Maxxine.
Yeah. Okay. So look, here's the deal. You've seen it by now. Everybody knows. Mm-hmm. It was a house show, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in Oakland, California. Oakland.
Yes.
I believe she was wrestling Nia Jax. If we watched the correct video
of her wrestling Nia.
I cannot 1,000% confirm, but I think it is the match.
Do you know, Alex, if it was after the match of her and Nia in Oakland?
We saw it. Javon Gatewood, what's going on? Javon, you are on the fence. You feel bad, but at the same time, you know, without the locker room sticking up for him, it is what it is.
Hey, Javon. Thanks for being a member.
It was Oakland, yes. Okay, so... She was booed. She was booed. She had her wrestling match.
Yeah.
Walking back afterwards, she lost the match.
Yeah, I wish we could play the match for you because we both watched the match. She didn't botch a thing. She ran a match exactly how they wrote it. They did write it for her to job, but she had a few, moments in there. She was funny. She did her job. She did the guillotine on her at one point. She did jump and knock her down and jumped off the rope, and she did her thing. She ran the match the way the match was supposed to be run. It was Nia Jax. Nia Jax runs through everyone. How is that her fault? She didn't do anything. She didn't do like Scarlett, who was just awful. And even Lana was okay and had potential. Towards the end, they just used her and abused her awfully. And I hope to God they're not about to do that with Maxxine. But if you, right now, when we get done, you watch the match and pull it up, it's on YouTube. Some people recorded it with their phone. Between Nia and Maxxine, she did not deserve that. She did nothing wrong. She ran the match as she was supposed to be ran. She is a thin girl. She's small. We know that she's still training, but she did fine. Just as good as anyone else would have done in there with Nia motherfucking Jax.
What up, Dylan Danger? And we got the Nation of Domination. Come on, you're supposed to be
sorry.
To the cadence here. I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree. I'm all over the place. I'm gonna do my best to keep it succinct and look at different sides of it. So it was one thing to see the video first. Obviously, that's what got out, the boos. She's still kind of doing her thing.
She's trying to still do her positive thing, yeah.
And she walks out. So we're like, dang, she's getting booed. Now, this is a character that we happen to really like, right? We love us some Maxxine Dupri. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what to make of her at first. We didn't know how she was going to fit in with the Maxxine male models. Thank goodness they got L.A. Knight, out of there. Mm-hmm. And it kind of sucks that the whole Maxxine male models thing fell apart. She got thrown in with the Alpha Academy again. I was like, what?
Yeah.
and yet some way,
It's
somehow,
funny. It works.
it works. It works. Alpha Academy as is works. All the time we see people who are valets or managers or whatever the case may be, and we ask ourselves, are they going to get in the ring at some point? Are they going to mix it up? Are they going to do a little something, something? Do they have what it takes? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes a manager, like it was said in here, is just a manager. Sometimes a valet is just a valet. The lovely Elizabeth. Oh, yeah, the first lady of wrestling. Yeah, she wasn't a wrestler, but she got in the ring and mixed it up a little bit for the Macho Man. Yeah. You know what I mean? But she was still a valet.
Right.
Maxxine Dupri, she has a skill set. There is potential. Just like with this dog, there were times, we've had this dog since she was 8 weeks old. There were times, if anybody's ever tried to train a dog, you're like, you are untrainable. This is not working.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And then sooner or later, it just clicks.
Right.
You see potential. You see the diamond in the rough, and it's just got to be polished a little bit. We've seen people get in here, like you said, with Scarlett, and we're not trying to knock anybody. We're not trying to knock Scarlett. Everybody has a skill set. I just had a managers meeting this morning, lasted all day. One of the things they said was, here are strengths, here are weaknesses. We all have it. Not a big deal. Just try to focus on your strengths, try to shore up your weaknesses, and be a better, well-rounded person, like well-rounded Leo. All right? So we saw Scarlett in the ring. Quite frankly, it was rough. So if this is something that you're legitimately going to try to do in the future, get better at it before you are in that position again. With Maxxine Dupri, her character was, hey, I'm not really a wrestler. I guess I can try it out. I'm in the Alpha Academy. I'm being trained by Shorty G, Chad Gable. Quite frankly, an amazing athlete in that ring. So that aspect of her character, like, I don't know, I'm trying and whatever, it works. But
that's
now,
what they wrote her to do.
if you are going to be like doing matches now, with nothing to do with Alpha Academy, like it's just all you.
I don't know why they didn't have her go through NXT though. Why they?
Well, she was there for. See, that's what I'm saying.
What, a hot second.
Like, you get called up, and this is something just Alex also said in his video. A lot of people said you get called up too soon.
Yeah.
And the whole point is you've got levels.
Yeah.
To this, I can't be a sixth grader and then just graduate and go on straight to high school. It don't work like that. As smart as I am, there's levels to this. So you've got the Performance Center, you've got NXT, like you said, you've got steps that you've got to take. We keep hearing Jade Cargill ain't ready. Jade Cargill ain't ready. Some will say she's been in AEW. She was a champion. How can you say she's not ready? No, she's not WWE ready. Okay, cool. So we've got her on the back burner just percolating, right?
Yeah.
Until it's like, okay, a little more salt, a little more salt, a little more pepper, a little more paprika.
Yeah.
Before she's main event ready, before we're ready to put her in the ring. And her doing a little something, something in the Rumble was fine. We'll mix it up a little bit, but you're not about to do nothing until we feel like you're ready. But all the time we see in a situation like this, you get called up and you're not there yet. Now, you rocket ship you because the crowd is feeling you. It was the same thing for Ronda Rousey. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Being in the UFC, a wrestler makes you not.
Yeah.
We've seen MMA fighters get in there.
Right.
And have applied and have learned and have trained and have gotten there. Ronda Rousey, aside from the fact that she shat on the business, I'm always going to harp on that, and she didn't really care. She was about this.
Yeah.
Her skill set never really got to where it needed to be.
Yeah.
It eventually got better. It got passable, but let's keep it a buck here. It was not what it needed to be for a wrestler that's getting paid what she was getting paid.
Yeah.
All right, but let's just shoot you to the top. We were just watching the thing with Goldberg. He was undefeated for how long? How many? And the matches kept going up. 50 matches, 200 matches, 1,020 matches.
Yeah.
But every other wrestler that wrestled him said, yeah, look, man, he just didn't know anything. They said it about Hulk Hogan. You just don't know a toe hold from a choke hold.
Right. But that was their fault for pushing him out there too soon.
So that's my whole
showing
thing.
Up and doing what he's told. And that's my thing about Maxxine. Maxine she didn't ask to be brought up from NXT. You don't get to do that. They bring you up because they want to push you because they think that you should be ready when she wasn't ready. So they did what they did with like you said, with the male models. And what they were doing with Chad Gable was fine. It was entertaining. Her matches with Valhalla were fine. They were entertaining. Why they're pushing her to have matches by herself? Maybe they just they're just trying to show how dominant Nia is. They want her to run through people. All kinds. Jai Lee has been out there to just be ran through and and all kinds of people are out there just get run through. It is what it is. But as someone just said in the comments, it's one thing to boo somebody. It's another thing to say you suck, don't ever come back or whatever. Whoever was screaming at her like that, I don't like men who bully women. She is a woman. She is a female who has feelings and emotions at the end of the day. You don't have to like her. She didn't botch the damn match. She did fine. She put her in the guillotine. She jumped off. She knocked her down. She almost got a pinfall. She was freaking fine. She was fine. I've watched a million matches. We go in hard on people who suck. Ruby Soho sucks. We could tell you people who suck. Her match was fine. You could boo her if you want to, but that man who bullied her and yelled at her like he's crazy, his mama should be slapped for raising that man like that. Because clearly your mama didn't love you or rejected you or something, because no man, I have a real thing with men who bully women. And for a man to bully her like that, if I was an audience, I'd have maced his ass, because I cannot stand that crap. Grow your ass up. Be an adult. You can boo all you want to, but you don't have to make her feel like that. She was running a role. She's doing her job. You know what I mean? It was disgusting. I can't stand it.
Now, on the same token, you have people that will say this is part of professional wrestling. We've had people in audiences in wrestling shows, as we know, we've seen it.
Toxic as hell.
Toxic, threatening you, kill yourself, just really off the rails.
Trying to fight other people who don't like the same people you want in the audience, catcalling. They were catcalling, what's her name, as she was getting her Hall of Fame award. Show us your tits. Oh my gosh, who let your ass in here?
Whoa.
Don't you remember that drunk dude? I'm just saying. I know it's a family show.
We don't say the word.
I'm just saying that there are some of the most toxic people in the world that come to these matches and make all of us look bad. We are not all that damn ignorant.
Now, essentially saying that booing is part of professional wrestling. We paid our money. We can cheer who we want to cheer. We can boo who we want to boo, whatever the case may be. And I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's multifaceted. When you have a situation like this where you say, okay, you are booed, you are you suck, and whatever the case may be, looking at that match is not indicative. I don't think that match deserved the boos and the heckles.
Yeah.
The match that she had with Rhea Ripley. Mm-hmm. Now, we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I said, here's the deal. This is what professional wrestling is. It's a carefully choreographed dance with a predetermined outcome.
Right.
That's what it is.
It is what it is.
The fans accept that, because what we're watching, we can go and watch a show, a dance, whatever, so long
Marvel,
as the partners are doing everything in synchronous. It's a beautiful thing. Y'all know I'm all about the Summer Olympics is about to come up. They have a lot of team sports, synchronized swimming, whatever the case may be. It's got to be on point. You've got to work with your partner. So we had a situation with Rhea Ripley and Maxxine Dupri where they were doing some moves. Now, I'm telling her, she was going to do, Maxxine was about to get into a power bomb. Rhea Ripley tried to pick her up. There was an issue. Whatever that issue might have been, whether Maxxine didn't lift herself up, prop herself up, or whatever it was, okay? Whatever happened in that initial move didn't work, and she couldn't do it. She didn't pick her up, and she just fell.
Yeah.
It looked bad. It looked bad, and there were some moments like that throughout the match. So what I'm saying is, I'm a big, strong Rhea Ripley person. Clearly, I get into the gym, I do a little something. This move only requires 50% of my strength to do. The other 50 is to my partner. If something happens in that move that now requires 80, 90%
I got you.
of my strength, and I'm not prepared to do it at that moment, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
The problem that I have with people who are not ready is not only can you hurt yourself, you can hurt your partner.
Yeah.
You can hurt your partner because now they've got to constantly strain and carry the match physically more so than they would ordinarily if it was somebody like a Natalia
Mm-hmm.
who can get in here and get the job done.
Yeah.
So for me, it's multifaceted.
Yeah.
The match that she had with Nia Jax that they booed at, nothing wrong with that match. Like you said, she did what she was supposed
Yeah,
to do.
I could see if it would have been that Rhea Ripley match, but it wasn't. And how many matches? Seriously, we could go through and we could find matches for everybody where they botched it. There's been so many botched matches with Rhea and smaller people that have botched their moves. Charlotte has botched moves. Everybody botches moves. This is a live show and things happen. And part of the character that they did for Maxxine was that she didn't know how to wrestle, was that Chad was teaching her. That was the shtick that they gave her. If they want her to job now, whatever, they have people come and job all the time. But, and yes, heckling, I see you guys saying, some people are saying heckling is a part of it. Just deal with it. That's absolutely fine. Heckling is a part of it. I am of the opinion, because I'm allowed to have my own opinion, that a grown-ass man does not need to talk to a woman who is a real person like that. You have way too much damn testosterone and alcohol, and you need to learn how to be a man. That's my opinion. I think it's toxic. I think it's ugly. I have no respect for men who would treat somebody that way. You can boo without acting like that and tell her that she doesn't need to come back. Like, just freaking grow up. I think it's childish. I think it's immature. I don't care if it comes with the territory. I'm allowed to think how I think. That's how I think.
Now, for me, like I was saying, multifaceted. So you have a situation, and again, I don't know because we're not on the road, right? You're on the road 300 days out of the year. You're doing house shows. Obviously, in this case, dark matches, whatever the case may be. She's learning on the job, totally understandable. She's on the road, so she's not able to get down into the performance center. She's not able to get down in Florida and really get in that training. So for me, here's the deal. Short and simple. You know full good and well if you're ready to get down with the get down in that ring or not. If you're not, you need to spend every waking moment getting there. Can you train me? Can you work with me? When we get to the next town, let's go ahead and get some training in. Is she doing that? Is she not doing that? Is she just skirting by? I have no idea.
I mean, it looks like Chad is training her.
I'm saying I don't know if she's
based
doing
on the
that.
match she did with Nia Jax. Do you not think that she's improved?
No. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that she hasn't improved. What I'm saying is it's a multifaceted. There's multifaceted parts to this for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, one, as a performer, you need to make sure that you're spending every waking moment. If you're not somebody that came up in wrestling like Natalia in the dungeon, like I'm a third generation, it's in the blood.
Yeah.
I noticed like the back of my hand. She's been wrestling for a year.
We used to say this about Eva Marie.
Exactly. Well, don't even get me started.
I mean, but she really wasn't.
Don't even get me started. But I'm saying, as a performer, you need to be in that ring after hours, working with whoever you got to work with, studying tape, doing everything you got to do. Again, I don't know if she is or if she isn't. But I'm saying that's what you got to do. One, two, and we've said this before, and this goes into the women's division. The WWE brass. She does what she is told to do. Maxxine Dupri is not an Undertaker, is not a Rhea Ripley, is not a John Cena, is not a Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay, she doesn't call the shots. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, look, this is the play, you run it, end the story.
Yeah.
So she's doing what she's told to do, and she's doing the best that she can. That's why I'm saying, as a performer, I'm hoping that she is doing what she needs to do to get up to snuff. And yes, there has been improvements.
And I'm saying the fact that we've seen improvements and the fact that she did so well in that match with Nia Jax, to me, says that she is practicing. And I agree with Denisha, because I also agree that Sarah Logan has botched many a move. She's not that damn great. It's really more her character that they've improved when she came back. When they let her go before, when she was in the faction with Ruby Soho, she was not that good. And like I said, Ruby Soho is awful. She's just awful. So there are people that even with as bad as Ruby Soho is, I wouldn't want her to be yelled at that toxic either. Like, there are fans in here like Renegade who's saying booing and cheering is a part of it. But when you're shouting that awful and mean and toxic to somebody right at them like that, that's toxic. You're taking it somewhere else. And it's not her fault. She is showing up to do the job that they are asking her to do. She's just going to work. So, you know what I mean? Like, she's just trying.
So you're told to run the play by your bosses.
Right.
So we've said this so many times, is how is it that the powers that be, whoever is running the show, you put these people out here, and I know you're trying to support them, but How are you not seeing what we, the audience, are seeing? Is it a question of you're just in a delusional state and it's not as bad as you think it is, or you're just not paying attention and ignoring it? Because there's no way, and we've said this, that we being in the positions that we are in our individual jobs, we're managers, we're supervisors. Part of my job, more so than hers, is hiring people that can do the job. If you can't do the job, I got to make sure I got people over here, the OGs, that are going to train you to do it. If you got a little bit of experience, great. I still need to have you trained in the way that we do it, like we're hearing WWE trying to do with Jade Cargill.
Right.
So if you're putting somebody in a position that they're not ready for, if you're consistently calling people up, and this is a problem with WWE, we love who they are in NXT, and then you're like, okay, let's call you up. Okay, let's do a draft. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what to do with you.
Right.
You can't figure it out. Okay, let's just throw you in a situation that you're not ready for, that you didn't do. Let's give you a couple of matches.
Right.
Dark matches, training things, and let's just throw you out there. You'll figure it out. They'll call it. You're with Natalia. You're with whatever. It's okay. And you get out there, and it's like, dang, that was awful. Why would you put somebody in a position to fail? So for me, what I'm seeing here is this is not necessarily, because I don't know if she's doing what she needs to do as far as her studying goes. I don't know. Like right now, my company, they're trying to set us all up for success and giving us some training tools. Say, here's what we're going to do. But it's up to me to open the book, to do what I got to do to study so that I can go ahead and get out here and perform. That's on me, right? If I don't, I got nobody to blame but myself. So my question is, right now, the blame game, if you will, where does it go?
Okay, Pat's time. We're not talking about booing. We are talking about screaming at somebody, you suck, don't come back, or go home, or whatever. There's a difference between booing and screaming toxic, foul stuff at somebody who is like 5 feet from you. That's not the same thing. And if you think that's the same thing, that's fine for you. But no man should be talking to a woman like that. I don't care what the damn arena is. That's some bully, punk ass stuff to me.
I'm wondering, because I've seen some videos talk about Maxxine Dupri and her physical beauty, if you will. Basically saying that because she is what you would call a classic beauty, that the quote unquote hate that she's receiving, as you can see behind us, is not deserved. Now, if it was somebody like, say, I don't want to, go there, but let's just say somebody, I'm saying a classic, trying to keep it PG, PC, if you will, a what's considered to be a classic beauty, like a almost superhero, right, or something along those lines, or a Sarah Logan, Valhalla, to where you are doing these moves, and they hear these jeers, these hate chants, these you suck chants. Would the community be in as much of an uproar as they are with Maxxine Dupri? Does her looks have anything to do with this?
I mean, the fact that, I think for me, like, you see this with heels, right? Like, people jeer heels, and they're supposed to. You could not like a face. Sometimes they don't get over. What's interesting is when it's weird that it's the same match, because the match with her and Nia, she was getting cheered, and people, when she was doing her thing, people were cheering for her. And then when she's leaving, you're hearing boos. And I'm like, well, the people in the ring, right by the ring, some of them were cheering for her. Some people are about Nia right now. But right now, Nia's running through people. That's what they're doing. Nia's running through people. She's running through everybody. Nia will go in the ring and run through 4 women. Are all 4 of those women getting screamed at when they leave? But like I said, the match was fine. She ran the match fine. There was nothing in that match that deserved booing, but you can boo her if you want to. I just think that one toxic ass baby who was clearly drunk on testosterone, who was talking to her like that, just needs, like I said, he needs like somebody to love him, because that is a really hurt man who don't know how to act towards a woman. and you just are disgusting to me. I cannot stand men who bully women. But I have an issue with that. So, like, he'll tell you, if I'm on the street and I see a man punking a woman, I'll get out and I'll be ready to fight for her. That's what I have a steel bat for. Because you think because you're a man that you could talk to a woman any old way and you could just treat her any old way. But, like, I mean, not that he might do that to a man too, but I just have a thing about men doing that to women. And I could just feel like she went out there, gave her all, ran a good match. She really did. And then she was talked to like that on the way out. She still had to turn around and do her thing. That must have just hurt. And I just feel for her. But, you know, like I said, you can boo who you want to boo. I just hate that the toxic heckles. And even when we're there, you always have those people around you who are so drunk and obnoxious and just have to be louder than everybody and have to be so ugly and hateful. And I'm just like, you're a grown ass man. Calm down. Go get some anger management. What is wrong with you?
Now,
it's a show.
There are comments in here. People have said, let's take a look at Trish Stratus when she first started, because she was not a wrestler, and now she's considered one of the GOATs, right?
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And BFAB, whatever the case may be. If there's potential there, we for sure see potential in Maxxine Dupri. But again, I think the ultimate heavy load of the blame, if there is issues and lacking in her in-ring abilities, have to fall on the powers that be that told her to get out here and get to work. Because again, 300 plus days out of the year, you're on the road. I'm sure, and obviously she has improved and is showing the ability to pick some stuff up. We are shocked, and I think we're kind of over it, but we were shocked at just how good Logan Paul is in that ring. For somebody that is not a professional wrestler, for somebody that has not been doing this, on paper, I believe Maxxine Dupri has had more matches than Logan Paul, and yet Logan Paul is doing things of a wrestler who's been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
We can't do the same comparisons. I feel like we are expecting so much of somebody that wasn't given the skill set that was needed to succeed as an in-ring performer.
Which,
at this
like
point.
you said, speaks to WWE, because the fact that WWE put Scarlett in the ring, Scarlett has told them, I'm not really a wrestler. I don't feel comfortable getting in the ring. And they put her in there anyway. And I just want to act like I never saw it. I need to erase it from my mind. It was so embarrassing. It was so awful that, thank God, they just said, okay, we're not going to do that again. And hopefully they just stick to that. I don't even know. But it does speak to them. Why couldn't they just give her enough time in NXT to call her up? Why were they so insistent on her coming up so soon? Now, that does seem like it's because of her looks. Because it was the same thing with Eva Marie. They think she's a classic beauty, so they can't wait to get her on the main roster. That doesn't make any sense. So it does speak to WWE. And it speaks to the fact that they need to wait till people are ready and stop jumping the gun. It's not that serious.
So for me,
because she may not be able to recover. You may send her back down to NXT and she may do well, but just like Eva Marie, even though she had went down to NXT and tried, they never got over it.
Yeah, so I mean, fans are fans, and fans are, and I there are a lot of comments in regards to how the fans react.
Yeah.
Fans have been wrestling fans and have been, we'll just say, like The Rock likes to say, passionate. They've been passionate for decades. It's just what wrestling fans are. Sometimes they go over the top, but let's keep in mind, the word fan comes from fanatic.
Yeah.
Fanatic, they go over the top.
Yeah.
And we've been to shows where we're just like, can y'all shut up already? And because it's obnoxious.
We've been to shows where I almost got into a fight and we had to have the people removed.
It's obnoxious. So there's a difference between a fan and a fanatic.
Right. That's
you know
true.
what I mean? There's some
That's
things
true.
that are just way over the top. So for me and for my money, she's getting there. This match, not deserved. Is it a culmination of matches that led to this point? Yeah, like just Alex said, yeah, that could very well be the case. And like you said, where do we go from here? This is where we are. This is all over the place. Wrestlers are adept at tuning out the noise from the crowd. But the one thing that we are forgetting,
Mm-hmm.
and that I've watched a lot of videos talking about this subject, the one thing that I have not seen anybody mention, you want a reaction from the crowd.
Absolutely. But I'll ask you this. Have you seen her say anything about it?
As of yet, I don't believe so.
She hasn't said
Unless
anything about it.
I'm not, unless I missed
That I
it.
know of, just Alex, you could chime in. She hasn't said anything about it, and she has not asked anybody to come to her defense. Rhea Ripley came to her defense strong, and plenty of people are going back and forth about this. But when you hear nothing, when you just get silence, that is the worst. You do want a reaction, and maybe she should go heel. Maybe this is the time to go heel. Maybe she should just go back down to NXT. This is something that creative needs to not ignore. They need to do something about. And at this point, I think they can't ignore it anymore. We did not have your title defended, Three Diglets. We were so tired. We forgot all about it. So you're still the Super Chat champion. Yeah.
We're doing it at WrestleMania.
You're still the Super Chat champion.
We have a new member right here with Renegade. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Renegade.
That's what I'm talking about.
Appreciate it. Awesome.
Welcome to the fam.
Yeah. So, so she hasn't said anything. So I think she is just taking it like a wrestling fan and doing her thing. She looked defeated because Nia Jax just ran over her, but she still turned around and did her thing. She hasn't said anything. So I don't think we should say she needs to just suck it up, because I think she did suck it up. We're talking about it. Rhea's talking about it. Other wrestlers are talking about it.
Well,
she's not talking about it.
Hey, Dro.
I think she did just take it and go. And for that, I give her props. I haven't heard her say anything about it.
According to Samantha Poole, she did a post on Instagram, shades on, haters out.
Oh, so there you go. She's just taking it. She's just like, okay, it's like you said, part of the business. We all feel some type of way about it.
There you go. We have a super chat right here by our reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight super chat. I totally messed that up. Champion of the world, Three Diglets. Big circle message to you. Fragile egos, fragile people. It's wrestling. People are going to talk some ish. The best part of the business is to win the hearts of those same obnoxious fans. Her female co-workers tweeting made it worse. It makes Maxxine look insufficient. I like the way you... insufficient. I like the use of that word.
Yeah, it's interesting because you just like I said, just like what you just said, she was just like, okay, put my shades on and move on. Everybody coming to her defense and everybody talking about it is bringing way more attention than she probably wanted to, and it is making her look like her ego is fragile when she is actually just like, I'll just move on. It is what it is. I'm going to ignore them, but everybody else not ignoring them. But like I said, if I was there, I would feel some type of way because I cannot stand men who are so damn obnoxious and have too much testosterone, dude. Like you just, I can't stand it. Now, but whatever.
There is a tweet, as some have said. One of the first ones was from Rhea Ripley herself, who had a really awful match with her. She says, I really wish that some of you got booed and ridiculed in the public eye while being new at your job. Learning and getting better is all a part of being human. Be better as humans. Now, here's the deal. Again, for me, if I'm paying my money, part of pro wrestling is a show. Part of that show are fans reacting. Yeah. So the one thing that you do not want is silence. We've been in a wrestling arena where you would have somebody come out. I'm not going to name names. And it was crickets. You could hear a mouse.
Man, it was crickets.
You could hear a mouse piss on cotton.
And she's
That's
pretty
how
too.
Quiet. You know what I mean?
It was like everyone just went to sleep.
So you want a reaction, and because we see it all the time. We see them like, come on, because it's dead silence during a match. So this, for me, is a bigger issue. This is part of the show. I didn't think there was anything wrong with people booing or whatever. The guy, you suck, whatever, I felt might have been slightly over the top, but we've seen and heard a lot worse.
Yeah.
But for me, because I want this to be about the ladies, this is a failure
on WWE.
And again, hear me out. I'm going to keep it as short as possible. Like I said earlier, if you just joined us, thank you so much. We are supervisors in our respective jobs, and it's our job to make sure that everybody under us knows what the heck they're doing. I'm not going to put somebody in a position, literal position, that doesn't know what they're doing, and they're fumbling and bumbling, because then they're going to look at me.
Right, because why would you do that?
Exactly.
Right.
We've seen this way too many times that, as far as I'm concerned, NXT, maybe not so much. NXT, they use their women a lot.
Yeah.
The main rosters, for some inexplicable reason, aside from some of the top tier people, we all know who we're talking about, the ladies are just not where they are supposed to be in 2024.
Yeah.
We have, speaking of NXT, because we talked about this, you have Lyra, I can never pronounce her name right, and her partner, for some strange reason, it doesn't even matter what it is, are now going to face the defending women's tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors. Let me be really clear here, okay? The women tag team division, when they finally, and there was a tag team, women's tag team titles years ago, decades ago. We finally get the women to have a tag team title. Why then are these ladies forced to defend it across all three brands? But the guys are not. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, men's tag team titles were in all three brands. Not even talking about this nonsensical, undisputed two-belt situation. It finally came to a point where NXT said, you know what? Our ladies need to have and deserve their own tag team titles. And they created them. Should have been right out of the gate. Finally gave it to them. What ends up happening?
Throw them in the trash.
The two ladies that were your NXT tag team champions get drafted to the main roster. You had your NXT tag, your WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. Hey, we want those titles. Oh crap! Here we go. We're gonna do an undisputed thing. Okay, great. Now they're gonna be two belts. No, they didn't do two belts like the men. They won, took the NXT titles, took those things, and dumped them in the trash.
Yeah.
You dumped them in the trash.
Yeah.
So once again, the very reason those titles were created doesn't matter. So you're saying to us and to the women, you're not as important as the men. You're not on the level as the men, and you never will be. And if Vince McMahon were still here, you would still be in bra and panty matches. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, there is a bigger issue here. There's a bigger responsibility here on the part of WWE to their women. Anybody and everybody that's called up too fast, that's one thing. That happens. I'm talking about the bigger picture of the women's division on the main roster. It is not on par with the men. It is not where it's supposed to be with the men.
That's never going to be, though.
Stephanie McMahon said, you are no longer divas. Why don't we just call them divas then?
She's not
here.
You,
but I'm saying, are you or aren't you?
They are divas. They
Superstars,
might as well go back to being divas.
Like the men.
Yeah.
Why aren't you treated the same? Why is the training not the same? We can have banger matches like we saw with Natalya and Rhea Ripley, and yet we don't. We get that level of match on NXT. Yeah. We see these ladies go out here and just put on a clinic.
Yeah.
But more often than not, we do not see that on the main rosters, including AEW. The main rosters.
Yeah.
So why is that the case? So what I'm saying is this. A bigger issue is with the women's division. This is a symptom of a bigger issue with the women not getting up to snuff where they need to be.
Yeah.
Sound off on that.
And if they're going to boo, well, I mean, I don't really feel like I need to sound off on that because I feel like we've been sounding off on that forever. And there's new people in charge, and either there's no way they don't see it, either they're going to do something about it or they're not. And so I feel like at the end of the day, we're just going around on this hamster wheel saying what we feel about the women's division, but then they do stuff like this and they bring her up when she's not ready and try to force her on people. and kind of ruin her. And what now? Like, now they need to make a decision on what they're going to do with her. Are they going to believe in her and push her anyway? Are they going to turn her heel? But how could they do that within the Chad and Otis thing? Because that's not a heel faction. Are they going to take her out? I mean, I have no idea how they're going to play this out. And I see what you're saying, just Alex, as far as you can boo who you want to boo. I feel that heckling on that level and getting personal is more than booing, because what I don't like and what I think personally makes fans toxic, and you guys don't have to agree with me, is when you start getting personal. Like, people are talking about how in the past people have been called names. Even when Nia Jax is called disgusting names, that's disgusting to me. It's a show. So when you start getting personal and start wanting to personally attack somebody as if this is not a show that you're coming to watch and they're just doing their job, then I just think that you're dumb. Like, are you dumb? Like, they're just doing a job and they're entertaining you and they're doing it well enough that you're emotional. And then you get personal and you want to attack people on a whole, like I said, super testosterone drunk level. And I think it's ugly. But you could boo who you want to. You could cheer who you want to. We all do it. That's what you do at live shows. I think he went too far, but I think it's very important that everybody see that this is not about her having a fragile ego. She didn't ask anybody to stand up for her. Like you said, Three Diglets, her constituents, her, friends, her whatever, what the hell are they?
Who are you talking about?
The people who work with coworkers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They started sticking up for her because it all made us, when we watched it, felt some type of way. That fan was just gross. But at the end of the day, she is just taking that and moving on. And like she says, shades on, going on, whatever. They're going to hate. And she's just doing her. So I think it's sad that people are thinking this means she has a fragile ego. She never said that. We feel some type of way about how toxic and ugly she was. And after watching the match, if you watch that match with Nia Jax, she did a good job. She didn't do anything wrong. She ran it the way it was supposed to be ran. Nia looked dominant. She ran through her like she does through everybody. That's what she was told to do. So I think that was a good match, and that was over the top for that match. That didn't go together. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching the match, I'm thinking, oh, she botched it, but she didn't. So I don't know what that was all about. But you can boo however you want to. You could cheer whoever. You could do whatever you want to. I'm saying when we're at live matches and these drunk, loud, obnoxious crybabies are screaming obscenities at people and getting personal, I can't stand it. It ruins the experience for me. That's just me.
But if nothing else, what I hope comes out of this, like it has been said before, when The Rock comes out and should I sit at the head of the table, everybody losing their freaking minds. The very next week,
booing him.
Cody's like, but not at WrestleMania. If you smell, now the crowd is just
going crazy,
flipped. We want Cody,
No, not that day, though. That day, they were still cheering The Rock. It wasn't until the conference, like in between that and the conference, where they started booing him. It was really weird.
At that moment, yes. In that moment, when he came out, the crowd was about it. Then I'm saying,
and then it turned.
But what I'm saying is, what ended up happening was everybody, the fans, losing their minds. We want Cody chance, so forth and so on. WWE listened. And they leaned into that.
Yeah.
They didn't shy away from it. And they said, okay. Now, again, whether this was the game plan, this was the play, or we decided to call an audible, I don't know and I don't care. The point is they listened and they adjusted accordingly.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, if nothing else, that they listen, that all this chatter, and that they really, because honestly, there are some people that just kind of skirt by, like, okay, you did your job, you skirted by enough. I don't really see an issue. Let's move on.
Like jobbers.
Everybody, you got to have jobbers. Totally understandable.
I mean, that's what they're doing with Candice LeRae.
But even jobbers, like if you have somebody like you saw with AOP, they just fought some jobbers. Those jobbers are professional wrestlers. Mm-hmm. So when you're put into a hold or whatever the case may be, your job is to hold yourself up, to do what it is supposed to do, to make it look like you're just a loppy floppy fish, but you're really helping and doing your job.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a jobber and somebody who just doesn't have the skill set yet, and it shows because you don't know how to compensate. You don't know how to hold yourself up. You
Yeah.
don't know how to dance with your partner.
Like going back to Ryback, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's what I'm seeing here, and that's what I'm hoping WWE will lean into. Be like, okay, when we get to the next town, you're going to work with such and such, and you're just going to run it, and this is what we're going to do, and you're going to get better and better and better. We got a
Yeah.
super chat right here about a 3 Diglets. Yes, indeed. I said the 3 Diglets.
The 3
Circle
Diglets.
message.
The
Here's
3
why I
Diglets.
love Tiffany Stratton.
Mhm.
Because it's Tiffy time. Let's be clear about that. A fan heckled her, and she literally turned around and said, "Suck my ass."
Yes, but she's a heel. She's allowed to
And
do that.
kept
And
it
that's the
moving.
thing with faces. Faces aren't supposed to do that because they're supposed to be kissing babies and shaking hands. I don't know if she would be allowed to do that because you're not allowed to break character. That's one of the things that Ronda Rousey said when she wasn't a heel yet. People were heckling her and she wanted to tell them about herself, but she would have got in trouble. So Tiffy can do that because she's a heel. Heels can do that. She can't do that. She has to go like this.
That's
So
what you're
I
saying.
see what you're saying, but she didn't have a right to turn around and flip them off or do whatever.
I keep it moving.
Yeah.
That's champion-ish. It's Tiffy time.
Yeah.
So 100%, that's what she's supposed to do. That's her job. I'm hoping what's going to happen is that eventually, very soon, we will see Maxxine Dupri on TV. How will we respond?
That will be
How
very
will we
interesting
interact?
because they can't act like this didn't happen. It's gotten way too viral.
Will she be in a match?
Mhm.
And here's the thing. I don't want to not see her wrestle, right?
Right.
But what I'm also saying is I don't want to see a full about face. So I've said consistently when we're watching professional wrestling matches, if you have somebody on the outside of the ring, they should be some way, somehow involved in the match. You've got to help your people out,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So even if she's not going to wrestle right now, listen, I'm going to be
Just interfere on the outside.
just interfere on the
She's
outside.
done good
Just
with that. Nation of Domination said, yeah, I think we've covered the women's division more than anyone else in the world. Laugh out loud. And I'm trying to think of what else there is to say about it. We have. I mean, I know we just really feel strongly about it, but yeah, I know. We have hopes for the women's division and they just keep getting dashed again and again, but I feel you.
We got another super chat right here by the 3 Diglets. Come on now, 3 Diglets. Circle message to you. Said it once on the show. I'm gonna say it again. Dupri is top 2 for female stars on the mic. Thank you. Number 1, Zelina.
Mm-hmm.
2, Dupri. I said this when she was on Maxxine Male Models.
Yeah.
Let Dupri build her wrestling up. She already got the other half down pat.
Mm-hmm.
She has skill, obviously, and I said the same thing.
Yeah, they just didn't need to push her so fast. What she was doing with like Chad just teaching her and just doing little stuff and doing, whatever, let her do that. Why do you need to push her before she's ready? They're ruining her by pushing her more than she needs to do. If she needs to just be a funny valet for whatever, people were loving that. You're absolutely right. She's great on the mic.
So I'm gonna harp on it for as long as I do this show. All right, because
I'm
I'm a proponent. I may be the biggest proponent for the female division in pro wrestling than anybody on this planet. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I want to see them get to the level where they're supposed to be in 2024. Again, let me say this again. It is 2024.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to have been covering this like this in 2024. But yet we're still here at the table doing that.
Yeah.
The stock, if you will. You're hurting the stock of Maxxine Dupri. You're hurting the stock of Alpha Academy. Like it has been said, you're on the opposite end of somebody who is an amazing amateur and pro wrestler, that being Chad Gable. Mm-hmm. To see the two opposites, but she's doing her job like, let me just come up. You're playing this role. Mm-hmm. Pro wrestling is, I have a character to play. This is what I'm doing. But overall, if you are going to be invested in the women's division on the main roster, I know we got to go, we got a thing, then be invested.
Yeah.
Don't pussyfoot around this. When you get out here, the ladies shouldn't have to be, come on, every time they're out
Yeah.
here
I
wrestling to
mean,
try to get the crowd into it
there's
because
some
it's
decent
silent.
matches and the crowd just doesn't care. But at the end of the day, can you make the crowd care? The crowd cares when it's like Nia versus Rhea, and you have these big titans. Maybe the days of little petite cute wrestlers is just coming to an end, and maybe people want to just see titans who can really wrestle.
Well, I mean, you already know. I love the super heavyweights.
Yeah,
I love the Ivy Niles. But that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
If I see and I know you've got an
Mhm.
Ivy Nile, you've got a Rhea Ripley. That's why I'm not all jazzed about Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. I just don't want to see it, quite
Yeah.
frankly, because I want to see a match that it is going to be just, oh my gosh, are they dead? Is she dead? Is it not
Right,
just
right.
a one-sided butt kicking?
Yeah.
I want to see Titans like just uncuff them, because when you do that, we see matches that were like, okay, you may have lost, but God bless you. There were no
Mhm.
losers in this match. You feel me? That's what I want to see every single time the ladies go out here. Maxxine Dupri is just doing what she's told to do. And I'm hoping at the end of the day that she is studying. I'm hoping that whatever is going on in the chatter, and it's not just haters, I'm just going to keep
Yeah.
doing what I keep doing what you're doing. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is keep growing and learning.
Mhm.
Don't just keep saying, I'm here.
Right.
I study 10 hours a week, make it 15, make it 20.
Yeah.
If you want to be in this business, you should
Mhm.
want to be better consistently
Yeah.
so that you look like somebody who can go against a Rhea Ripley
Yeah.
at a WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
agree
mean?
with you, Pat's time. I'm glad Nia Jax is actually getting her praise lately. She, she's really, to me, she's really improved since she's come back, and I can't wait to see her and Jade Cargill go at it. And yes, we did see Sting come down out of the rafters. We'll
Beautiful.
end with that because that was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It was
I'm
beautiful.
fine with cute as cute. It would be so much better if Q can like put a stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Like and this is not to say, I mean, cute, like pretty, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So this is not what we're trying to do here. And I'm not over here like, Maxxine, is this not what I'm saying? Classic beauty to keep it PC. One person's Rhea Ripley's beauty is another person's Maxxine Dupri. My point being is that I would love to see a Maxxine Dupri put a stamp on it like Rhea Ripley. That's what I would love to
Bianca's
see.
beautiful. I mean, beautiful. I mean,
She
but
can put a stamp on it, but I mean, NXT Bianca.
Bianca's
Main
Bianca.
roster Bianca is a different story.
She's
So-
not. She's been bad ass lately. But anyway, we got to go.
All right. So with that,
We appreciate y'all coming in and talking to us about it. Sorry I get so passionate. Like I said, I just have a thing with men bullying women on a different level. You could boo people, but
oh yeah, Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, she's just not a nice person.
But we didn't even like when
She's
Lacey
not a
Evans
nice
was
person.
booed like that. We felt for her too. I mean, yeah, she's not a nice person and she could go home and whatever. But we were like, ooh, like dang, that was whoa.
But she got a crowd reaction. But she just didn't get over with the crowd.
But Lacey Evans couldn't get over with the crowd. Maxxine has been over with the crowd, and there's a turn happening. But come on, this happened to Liv too.
So I think it's a good
Liv got
conversation.
booed. Like,
She
let's
did
not
get
forget that.
booed. I love her character right now. But at the end of the day,
It happens.
I just hope that the WWE notices, they invest in their division, they invest in Maxxine Dupri, and she continues to invest in herself and want to get better so that
Absolutely.
we have better shows that we are watching, whether it is a live show, dark show, or televised.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, we are done with our Maxxine Dupri rant. Bone Crusher is spent. I got a lot more I want to say, but we're going to save it for later. So thank you so much to our mod squad, to our newest member,
Yes.
to our members, our subscribers, to everybody that just popped in here, to those that super chatted, our super chat champion, 3 Diglets,
Yes.
to the fan bam, just Alex. You already know how I feel
Yes.
about this, and I got a lot more to say.
I'm sorry, Seven Blades. You could go back and watch it.
Shuck it, duck it, quack, quack.
Shuck
We
it,
got,
duck it.
come on now. We see. 3 Diglets said, hold
3
on now,
Diglets.
fam. Maxxine sucks. Get out of my ring.
It's so funny that you would follow up the last one with this one. Dun, dun. Dun, dun.
Yeah, we.
Jeez.
I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna let it slide. But that's at the end of the day, wrestling fans are passionate. We
Yeah.
can cheer, we can boo, we can whatever the case may be, but we just are passionate about what we're seeing, and I hope we can keep it constructive. I saw Just Alex at a post talking about the toxicity in the wrestling community. His channel is a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us, and people can get out of pocket.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it is what it is. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank you so much.
Yes,
And we
love you
hope
guys.
y'all come back for some more A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. We apologize for getting out here so quickly, but we do have an event that we have to go to, so we will be out of here in honor of Bone Crusher, who's asleep, and of the ladies. I'm gonna go hard in the paint for them if nobody else
hard
is.
in the paint.
We bid you.
Yep, I do.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Good night.